I am hounding the NDP party where I live. I hope you mean politically and not in any malicious or allegedly, potentially unlawful manner. The NDP deserves political retribution for their backstabbery of Canadian citizens. Perfect segue. Thank you very much, Sandy MC. The backstabbery. I like that. I like that word. Let's just go see what our dear friend, the Jagmeet Singh. And by the way, I realize now I've been pronouncing his name wrong. It is Jagmeet Singh, and I will probably continue to accidentally mispronounce it, or as Barnes says, mispronunciated. It's not a question of being deliberately antagonistic or disrespectful. I grew up with Jagmeet, and I only recently realized it was pronounced Jagmeet. I actually thought people pronouncing it that way were making fun of his name when I first heard that. But setting all that aside, I'm not sharing the window yet. That's why nobody can see anything. We're gonna. Oh no, I am sharing the window. That's why I see it twice. All right. Don't pay attention to the response yet. We got to go to Jagmeet's virtue signaling tweet. Canadians. I hear it. I hear the soft violin music that he would put into this if it were in a campaign commercial. Sorry, that's not the right one. That's not the right one. That is the right one. Dude, get your stuff. Producer, get that producer in here. Canadians are struggling to make ends meet. This is like, when you have those fundraising ads for on television. Corporate greed is out of control. When prices go up, someone is getting rich. Remember that. When prices go up, someone is getting rich. And it isn't workers or your family. Thanks for reminding us, Jagmeet. Someone's getting rich, and it ain't you. It ain't you, because you're not in the club, sir. Corporations are making billions, while the average household is paying $5,807 more in goods. Let me see. I did respond directly to this tweet. Let me see if I can see how far down I get demoted on. This is in, what's the word I'm looking for? This is in incognito. And I've noticed that I've been getting downgraded in my responses. Like my response will be right up there for the first little while. And with Jagmeet and what's his face? Trudeau. There you go. It gets all. How is my tweet, my response to his tweet, which has 38 retweets, how is it this far down in the thread? You tell me that they're not deliberately suppressing certain or shadow banning. I don't know what the word is. How is my response to Jagmeet's tweet, which has 38 retweets, this far down the ladder for people to see? But let's get there. Oh, I said, I hope you enjoyed your $5,000 pay raise on April 1st. This is not a joke. While Canadians are paying $5,000 more in goods, it's good to be king, Jagmeet. I'll get you to the article in a second. But just remember what he said and how when prices go up, someone's getting rich. They got their pay raise, and when prices go up, you pay more in taxes just because 15%, which is what we pay in Quebec, that includes provincial and federal sales tax. When prices go up, taxes go up, and someone is getting rich, and it's the government, among others. Oh, someone's getting rich, and it ain't your family, but I'll take my $5,000 pay raise to the bank while you guys have been under 2.5 years of lockdown and government suppression, crippling government measures. And then I linked to that article. Where is the article? Just someone's getting rich, and it ain't you. And they're like, there's no shame. They have no shame about it. Let me just go pull up the article, because their defense is, it's an automatic pay raise. We can't do anything about it. Acquiring, where's the roughly 1/3 of cabinet ministers? Is this the article? Yeah, I think this is the article. Their defense, it's an automatic pay raise. There's nothing they can do about it. I don't want to give them ads. It says roughly 1/3 of Liberal cabinet ministers. Oh, sorry. No, that's not the right one. That's just what they're doing with their wealth. Hold on one second. Sorry, that was the wrong article. Stop screen. That wasn't the article about the pay raise. That was an article about what they're doing with their pay raise. Where is the article? I believe this is it. Okay. Just everybody should know. This is from taxpayers. I don't know what the website is. I couldn't find any other website that was, I'm not sure how big a story this was for the other people who are getting rich, despite everything, the media with their $600 million bailout. I'm not sure how much they're going to focus on this rather embarrassing story for our MPs. Taxpayers Federation slams April 1 MP pay hike, and this is from this is last year. Whatever. It's the same raise this year. It was $5,000 January, February, March of last year. I'll get the one from this year. And they got a pay raise on April 1st, and it was like almost the joke as to how much it was. But anyway, this is from last year. So last year they got $5,000, give or take. Oh, I should get the article from this year. Anyhow, but it's an automatic pay raise, so there's nothing they can do. They can't stop it. So, they can't put it on pause. I mean, they can shut your business down. They can make you live off a government stipend, but they can't stop their own massive pay raise. But let's just see what the roughly 1/3 of Liberal cabinet ministers do with their money. It seems they own rental and investment real estate records. Roughly 1/3. No thanks. Roughly 1/3 of ministers sitting around the Liberal cabinet table own rental or investment real estate assets, according to their filings with the Federal Conflict of Interest Commissioner. While fully legal, real estate experts say the holdings reflect the degree to which Canadians increasingly view real estate as a financial asset rather than a place to live. By the way, this is the same government that's talking about why housing is so expensive in Canada. Can you imagine these flagrant hypocrites? They own rentals and they own investment properties at the same time that they're running around on a campaign platform that housing costs too much in Canada. We got to find a solution to it. It also comes as recent data from Canadian financial institutions has demonstrated the growing role of investors in fueling price growth, a trend Deputy Prime Minister and Finance Minister Chrystia Freeland billed this week as an issue of intergenerational injustice. Quote, one of the many things that I am most concerned about as someone who, it shocks me to say this, is 53 years old, is the intergenerational injustice, Freeland told the board. Oh my goodness. We had a better shot at buying a home and starting a family young than young people today. And we cannot have a Canada where the rising generation is shut out of the dream of homeownership. Yeah. Okay. Do I continue reading this? No, let's forget about it. Here, I'll put it in the chat. It's the ultimate slap in your face. It's good to be king. It's good to be king. And when prices go up, someone's getting rich. And by the way, I know you can't afford property, but that's exactly what those wealthy MPs who just got their pay raise are investing in while running on a platform of lowering housing costs, because they're so concerned with intergenerational injustice that they continue to give themselves raises. They continue to invest in rental properties, thus driving up the price. And people still vote for them. People still vote for them, and they still get reelected. Oh, do they seriously act like us young gens can't buy a house? You can just work for it. Yeah, true. If you could continue to work, if they don't shut your business down, if they don't make it so darn impossible to actually run a business because of these COVID protocols. I still have had a few clients, one of which worked in the restaurant business, a very, very fancy restaurant. I know what they put up plexiglass, invest tens of thousands of dollars so that we can let you open your business. We're shutting you down December 31st, New Year's Day. Yeah, no. If opportunity to work needs to be there in order for people to be able to work for home ownership. But when they literally tell you can't work, or they make it so darn impossible to work, where the only people who can actually succeed in this market, big tech, or people with government connections. Yeah. So that's it. That was my Jagmeet Singh coming out. When prices go up, someone's getting rich, and it ain't you. And let me just go cash my pay raise. Let me just go invest in some real estate. Let me just go, let me just go refresh my profile on the WEF website. Yeah. And let me just go collect more taxes that people are paying as property value goes up, as inflation goes up. When inflation goes up, so do taxes. that you pay on those goods that go straight to the government that they then use to give themselves raises. Shocking, depressing, insulting, and par for the course when it comes to liberal politics. My wife says she just saw my tweet now, not my tweet, my message, and was unable to procure me a Red Bull. Yesterday, when I did the stream, I made a cup of coffee, and it was so bad, it made me angry. I took one sip of it, and all I had as a taste in my mouth was bad coffee for 2 hours, and I didn't drink the coffee, and I didn't get the energy boost that I thought I needed in the afternoon. And then I had an amazing interview with Chris Phillips, and then my brother. It was amazing. Some of us do not have credit, so we cannot buy a house, and our wages are way too low. We are the average worker. Salaries are under $2,000 a month. It's amazing. It's amazing. I was when I was in Florida for the 72 hours, and I was talking to someone who mentioned they were looking to buy a home, but the homes are just too damned expensive in Florida as well. And I think that's for a different reason than in Canada. I think it's probably for a healthier reason than in Canada. But the person told me they're paying rent now, and their rent, and this is shocking. I mean, it's shocking for me as a Canadian. Their rent was $2,700 US a month. And there's no getting that money back at the end of the day. At least if you're paying $2,700 on a mortgage after you've paid the interest, in theory, you get the capital back if the house increases in value, if you take good care of it and you sell it. Rental, burnt. $2,700 a month. How much? That's more than a quarter of a person's salary. An average salary, and you're expected to be able to buy a house when, they're increasing. I forget what the requirements are now. For a down payment for a deposit on the house, and then the interest rates are going up. How are people going to afford houses? And you know what? It's not going to drive the prices down. My prediction is increased interest rates are just going to make it harder for the people who already don't have the means to buy a house. It's not going to make it harder for the people who have the means to buy up, and then to rent out to the suckers who are going to pay $3,000 a month in rent and never own a damn thing. Thank you, Sharon. Thank you. Have you seen the NIH discourse about ivermectin being... Now I understand what you meant by that. Sorry, I'm so dense sometimes. I have not seen it. I'm going to look into it, but no medical advice, no legal advice, no election fortification advice. Rent is too damn high. No, but it's what happens when money loses value. Just keep printing money, keep giving out, keep printing out money, and then it stops having value. And then, when it stops having value, well, everything has to go up. But the government can keep paying you $2,000 a month, on which you have to pay tax, people. Bear that in mind. So good. 20% down payment, or you could pay a regulatory fee. 20%. Just assume a modest condo, $300,000. 20%, it's $60,000. Who's got $60,000? Not everybody has $60,000 cash lying around that you have to put down as a deposit so that you can afford the mortgage on the 240. And the mortgage on the 240 is now going to be interest rates. When we were locked in was like 1.5%, 1.4. Now it's 2.5. In the States, it's 3.5, maybe 4.5, depending on your credit. You're going to pay 4.5% annually on $240,000 after you've put down a down payment of $60,000 on a $300,000 condo. That's assuming you can even find a condo for $300,000, which you can't. Yep, but when prices go up, somebody's making a lot of money. Anyhow, it is 100,000 for 20% in Ottawa. Okay, I'm not sure what that means. I didn't know you have to pay tax on a no-fault insurance claim. I don't know that that's the truth. I don't know if that's not the truth. I don't know if that's true in all jurisdictions. No legal advice. Anyhow, so that's what's going on with that article with Jagmeet Singh. The virtue signaling, it's enough to make you want to puke. If anybody knows what movie that's from, oh God, let's see who gets it first. I'm going to buy you a ring so big it's going to make you puke. Who's going to get it? Hold on. Who's going to get this? It's from a movie. It's from a movie that I consider to be a perfect movie. Okay, let's just see if anyone gets it. Someone says Jack Russell. The smartest dog on earth can actually type. The Jerk, boom shakalaka. Dan Plemick, and I know what that name means. It is from The Jerk. It is Steve Martin. It is, no, I see it's not from Rocky, although I can appreciate how someone might have thought it was Sylvester Stallone the way I said it. Not Dumb and Dumber. Definitely not Goodfellas. Not My Cousin Vinny. Anyways, it's from The Jerk. It's when Steve Martin is talking about his wife, and then she says, I don't want to puke. I just want The Jerk is a perfect movie. It is, in my mind, the best movie ever made. It's controversial to say that. It was happy. It was a movie that unified people. It was hilarious. It has stood the test of time. And even the music in that 70s issue, I think it's maybe early 80s, the music has not gotten tacky old. The next perfect movie is Princess Bride. Goodfellas is amazing, but I still find it scary to watch these days. Goodfellas is like a horror movie of humanity. It's like it's what people do that make you fear other humans. He doesn't like the cans. Stay away from these cans. Okay, so that's that article.